All right, Mr. G here. We are going to now connect the dots. And by that, I mean we're going to take the cantus we've written, the counterpoint we've written, and we're going to bridge most of the leaps, turning in a stepwise motion. And again, we're going to try to do it in such a way as to make every part a little bit more interesting than just whole notes. And we're going to be paying attention to things like if one voice is moving, the other one doesn't, or if they're both moving, move them in opposite directions. We're going to try to pay attention to harmonic sensibilities, but we're not going to be so concerned about dissonances now. Dissonances happen. If there's a rule that I like to use, is that don't put two dissonances in a row. There should be a dissonance followed by resolution or consonance. So let's get to it, and on this lesson, we'll be doing that, and then 2E, the last one, we'll be adding the third voice to turn it into a full-fledged trio. All right, Mr. G, out. All right, we're going to start harmonizing. And here's the first thing I do. I look for wherever there's a skip of a third and connect the dots. For instance, the very first third we have is this guy. Oops, I'm sorry. Let me back away from that. Is that B going up to a D. So I'm going to take this whole note, and I'm going to change it into two half notes. And that B, the second half note, will go to C. Oop, I'm sorry. Back up here a second. There we go. So instead of B to D, I have B, C, D. Here's another third. From a G to a B. I'll make this a G. And I'll make this G go up to an A. Here we are. Here's another third. I'm going to put a half note in there. Do you see what I'm doing here? I'm actually bridging it so it makes it more linear. So it's all stepwise motion. And this is just an example of some things you can do. All right? Now see, I'll put down here. There we are. Here's a third from here, the B to the D. So let's do that. All right. So there's the little skips. How about we come down here to the bottom part? Let's take a look at that. Here's an A to a C. There. And here's a C to a A. Now we might have to look out for that one because, well, we'll see. We'll see. So now I got big skips to worry about. This first piece right here, I got an F down to an A. So I'll probably need something more than half notes. There's an F. I'm going to put in, let's see if I can do this. Big skip like that, I might turn into maybe a smaller skip in a step. So what if I did, let's just do this. Bring it down there. D. C. Oh, I'm sorry. So we F, E, D, C, down to an A. Okay, but now what if that's a D. What if I put a big skip down here like this? So here's what we got so far. Let's listen to this. All right, I kind of like that. Oh, by the way, we missed a third down here. This part. Let's do this. All right. Now, we also have a big skip from here. Same situation, F to, oh, I'm sorry, it's not an F, is it? So that's a C, E, that's a G, down to an A. So, but let's do this, let's do something here. Let's make it look exactly like what we just did over here. It's called imitation. So let's just do this. Here, put this down to here, and here, Let's see what this sounds like. Okay, now we have an F to an F. I'm wondering if I could break that up a little bit. So that's not two F's in a row. So what if we did half note there? And let's see, F. See, this note up here is a C. I'm sorry, this is a G. Excuse me, that's a G. That's a C. I can't, if I went up to an A, this A will sound really good against that C. I wouldn't want to go down to an F because that's F to C, or C to F could be considered a fourth. So let's do this. Let's put it up to A. Gives a nice contour to the line. This line's moving up, and then it moves down. This line stays the same and then moves up. So let's hear what this sounds like. Now, what about, I got two G's here, right? Let's break this up a little bit. I've got quarter notes happening up there, so let's do half notes here. So we're not doing the same thing all the time. So we got two G's. All right. Now, how about if we did, instead of G to G, what if we did A, what if we did G? Now see, this G is married up to these notes. Oh, that's not a G, excuse me. It's an A, is married up to these two notes. So if I did this A, this B is actually pretty good. B, marry up against these two notes. And then this G here, what if I'm an A, excuse me, this is an A. See, even I get messed up by that clef. I got two A's. We got B. What if I just split this up here into two half notes? And take it up to a C, and then drop it down to the A again. So now, lastly, we have these two notes, and these two notes. It's perfectly legit. They're good intervals. They're going. But what if we broke this up a little bit and added just a quarter note? What I want to do here is I'm just going to make it. Oops, I'm sorry. I want this note. There. And what if I did this? Now, notice that this is a B, and that is an A. Yes, I know that's a second. But once you start breaking things down a little bit, you're going to have some dissonance. And now I'm not concerned about that a whole bunch. Just as long, if there's dissonance, what follows a dissonance should be consonants, a good note. And we do. We have a D and a B. So let's listen to this part right, this counterpoint and everything. I'm liking it. Now, I have one thought here. I have a whole note here and a whole note here. One of these should move. Well, guess what? The next four beats, the viola's moving, so I'm going to make this guy move. This is a B, right? And that's a D. I am going to introduce the dreaded tritone. Oh my goodness. Tritone being a diminished fifth. I'm going to have, against this B, I'm going to have a D to an F, very much a dissonant tone, coming back to harmony. So now listen. Lastly, but not leastly, I have 2 whole notes there. This viola voice is moving just before that. What if I put that same figure here? Made it look the same. By that, I mean, let's see what happens. This one goes, steps down, goes back, steps up. Steps down, goes back, steps up. Oh, let's see. I can't do that because I want that there. So we'll invert it. So step down, I'll step up. Come back and step down here. So now listen. Now, I'm still not happy with this G, with that A against that A. Well, guess what? I can change it now because I can use stepwise motion. So let me do, that's an A. Yes. Now I'm going to put that to a C because now I'm stepping into it, skipping away. So now let's listen. Now, one of the things I like to do when I'm writing a piece of music is I like to sing along, and then I'm going to stop, and then I'm going to keep singing. So I'm going to start from here. Oh, I'm hearing ba, ba, ba. Let's see here. Ba. And it's not exactly what we had before, but now listen to it though. I heard it and it doesn't sound bad. Now, that is the first counterpoint, and we've tweaked it. So now it starts to have a give and flow. There's give and take. There's movement. Let's go look at the second one real quick. We use the same principles as before. Big jump from this G down to the B. So what we'll do is I'm going to put in quarter notes, and we're going to move down. So let's see here. That's good. And we have two whole notes here. This voice moved, so I'll make the top voice move now. Oops, my bad. I'm going to make the top voice move, and I'm going to use just half notes right now. That's an E. What if I did a skip up, step down? All right, did that. Now again, we got a big skip here from the C or the D to that one. So let's do quarter notes and connect those. That big leap, humongous leap. All right. Where are we here? Oh. All right, there. E. What? Ah, here we go. I might lose it here for a second. Let's see here. C, B, A, G. Skip down. Okay, that might work. We have moving down, moving down. Now we have moving up. Let's add 4. Here we are. Let's see. F. Let's see if we can just do something a little different. All right, now we have 2/3 in a row, here to here to here. It's acceptable. Now, this voice here and this voice aren't moving. So this voice is doing a lot of movement down here. So I'm going to see if I can make something up here. I think we'll do a dotted half note. Why am I choosing that? Just because. C, F, that's an F. So if I want to all right, let's see here. All right, if I make this an F, that's the C, that's a G. All right, that might work. D, what if I did, yeah. Now let me do something here, because this is a G and that's a D. So I'm going to put half notes in here to work against that. So dotted quarter, dotted half note quarter. I'll put in 2 half notes here. That's a G. And we will go, if we did B, see G, E. That work? No, it'll be going from E. No, that won't work. It's an F. A. Now I got to get down to my C. Oh, what's that? That's a C. That's a G. Okay, good. I need to get from here to here now, though, because there's 2 skips in a row that I want to avoid. So guess what? Looks like a perfect answer would be here. Oops. There we are. And let's listen to what we have so far. All right, I don't like unison, that unison there. It's a C. I'm going to make it to an A. And I don't like 2 whole notes there. Again, I'm going to bust this up a little bit. So now let's listen. It's a little plain. 2 major scalish, but all right, that kind of sets it up for us. First and second part. Now, next lesson, we're going to add a 3rd voice and see if we can change this up. Now, you got to realize, nothing is set in stone from this point on. I can change and alter any part I want, just as long as it really, from this point on, is just what sounds good to my ear. I already tell you the second one, I'm probably going to be changing it when I add the 3rd voice. But now, let's go and analyze the 3rd part, all right?